My dear son and namesake, John M. Jack Dempsey III, was to many a chip off the old block. Although we're not related to the great American boxer by the same name, he was also one tough kid, a fighter from the start, and a beloved son to his mother, Pat, and to me. Born just after the end of the Second World War, I was just plain lucky to have returned to Greenwich, Connecticut for a few days after many months at sea aboard my Coast Guard troop transport. Just long enough to be there when Pat delivered our first child, our beautiful little boy, into this wacky, wonderful world.
Forever the older brother of and to his three adorable sisters, Jack grew up in a truly all-American town, Mountain Lakes, New Jersey, about an hour northwest of the Statue of Liberty. And that is where his lifelong love of almost anything sports began. Lacrosse, baseball, swimming, and more. So committed to excellence, he was even the popular captain of his fellow swimmers who won the New Jersey State Championship. It was no surprise to his parents that his very first job was as a lifeguard. They were so very proud of him in every way, especially when he achieved the lofty rank of Life Scout in the Boy Scouts of America. At only 13, Jack was lovingly tricked into his first trip to Maine. He hated to be away from his mother, and he would never have agreed to spend the entire summer away at camp. So Pat and his uncle promised that if he just tagged along on a business trip, he'd get his chance to drive his uncle's new Buick on the way up to Maine. Eventually, his Uncle Jack brought him to Birch Rock Camp in Waterford. After showing him around the cabins in the lake, Jack was ready to stay. He frequently spoke of cherished memories of all sorts of outdoor activities, learning most alongside his mother, an important detail that he loved to share. He returned each summer as a camper and then as a counselor, and even after going off to college in Tennessee, he continued coming back to Birch Rock to help set up for the summer and put the boats in the water. In fact, his name can still be seen on the plaque in the dining hall. Throughout his life, Jack embodied the values, mission, and even the camp's motto, help the other fellow. It would take far too long to list all the things Jack did through his 78 years, so here are just a few. He began his career as a clerk on Wall Street. He became a member of the New York Stock Exchange. He helped create several foundations and served on various boards supporting numerous philanthropic endeavors, including the Handicapped Children's Fund, the Cancer Research Fund, and yes, the Boy Scouts of America. Just weeks after September 11th, Jack left the stock exchange and retired to Maine, where he promptly joined the Coast Guard Auxiliary, served both as a flotilla and division commander, and providing education, training, and safety exams. Often you could find Jack patrolling the coast of Maine. Now, those are some of the many, many, many things that he did throughout his life. But to understand and love Jack Dempsey, it was all about who he was, much less what he did. Jack was a role model and mentor to many at home and at work. If you were among Jack's many friends, you meant the world to him. If you were Jack's friend, you learned what true integrity means because he lived by the phrase, Dectum meum pactum, my word is my bond. And if you were Jack's friend, you knew that his integrity was matched only by his generosity, and you knew of his well-earned reputation as the smartest guy in the room, especially when it came to his knowledge and love of wine, cigars, wooden boats, antique cars, and the Bronx Bombers, the New York Yankees. So, if you find yourself enjoying a great cigar, or sipping an exceptional wine, or a fresh peach margarita, or maybe playing a game of backgammon or softball, or working on the New York Times crossword puzzle, or being at peace whether you're out on the water or content in a quiet wood or enjoying an evening fire, just think of Jack and he'll be right there beside you. Jack Dempsey was a man who helped others throughout his life, a good and decent man who will be remembered for his patience, his integrity, and his friendship.
Before I close, let me take this time to acknowledge Sarah for arranging all the details of this wonderful tribute. Thank you, Sarah. When I close my eyes, I see and hear my son gently repeating the words of a California pastor who said, "When you die, if you need to weep, cry for your brother or sister or friend walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them love. Love. Look for me in the people I knew and loved. Love never dies. People do. So when all that's left of me is love, give love away. Bless you, Jack. Thank you for being you. Know that your Father loves you now and always. And know that we are all so relieved that you are finally back in the arms of your mother.